Cool.
Okay, cool.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt.
I'm Freddie.
And we are 2/3 of Mixtape Massacre creators. MJ is probably somewhere in the audience with us tonight, but she couldn't be here at the studio, so she's just joining us from her home, virtually kind of hanging with us. But she's here in spirit, as always. Yeah.
So I guess what we're doing tonight is we're basically going to be answering any questions you guys throw away in concerns to the Directors Cut Kickstarter, which is coming up in 1 week. Hilarious enough, one of the questions we actually received for this tonight is when does the Kickstarter go live? And,
so I guess we haven't been putting that out there enough. So,
so
Kickstarter goes live March 16th.
Yeah. Hilarious enough. So what we're going to do is we have a set of questions here, but we'll also take questions from you guys. So I'm just going to start this off. We answered that one right away. Next one. Will the Kickstarter have international shipping specifically for the UK? Will you also be including the option to buy Escape from Tall Oaks and other old products during the campaign? So we will have, we will be doing kind of what we did last time with the Invasion expansion. Basically, there'll be an area on the campaign for international people to sign up, and it'll take you over to a sign up page. You will have access to all the items that we're going to have during the campaign, and you get all the bonuses that we're going to give during the campaign. And also post-campaign will allow people to get the, anyone international will allow to get Mixtape Massacre, old booster packs, old expansion packs, Escape from Tall Oaks.
Basically anything we have in stock.
Yeah, just about anything.
And just to give you a little bit more background on that is, it's challenging for us to try to figure out, and well, we could offer international shipping through the campaign, but at the end of the day, it's too costly for the customers. Unfortunately, we're a small shop. We're not a huge gaming company that has infrastructure set up in other countries or anything like that. So we have looked into it. We've done it in the past, but in the end, it hasn't necessarily been a favorable thing for us to do. So we figured out this scenario where it does make sense for us to offer it kind of post. We can be super transparent about the cost of shipping, and people can decide. What we do want to avoid is a bunch of people jumping in on the campaign, and then once they see what the cost of the shipping might be, then they opt out of the campaign, because at the end that hurts us more so than it helps us.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, look, we would love to be able to get the game to everybody, and we do our best to get the game to everybody, but this is a way that international backers can still get products and be a part of the campaign and be support everything that we're doing. So again, if you have any questions about that, or you are an international backer, you're also welcome to just message us directly, and we'll make sure we work with you to figure out a way to get these products in your hands.
So short answer, yes, you will have access to everything, but it'll be post-campaign. Let me see, next one. This one is from Courtney S. First of all, I'm super excited for the campaign, but my biggest question is if you own the Director's Cut edition, is there any value in hanging on to the older version of the game, or should I re-gift it?
Great question.
Yeah. You want to go?
No, go ahead.
I would say, honestly, as a collector, it's absolutely beneficial to hold on to the original for two reasons. One, first edition. Always cool later on to have a first edition of anything. But secondly, we are actually making changes that the old game won't have. So in two ways, you'll have the original version if you ever want to play the original version as is. And secondly, there will be, you'll have all those additional pieces. So if you ever lose certain tokens and stuff like that, you'll have some backups of those pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously up to the collector and the owner if you want to hold on to it. We think there's some cool value there, since it won't be, that edition won't be made anymore in the future, so you kind of have that. But yeah, that being said, if you want to spread the love and pass it on to someone else, feel free to do that too.
I was about to say that would be the other thing, is passing it on to friends. The next question is, this one is from Nick C. What are you looking forward to the most with the new edition? You want to start that one off?
Sure. Yeah, I think. Well, with the addition, I mean, so there's. Yeah, I mean, we're excited across the board. Obviously, like this is something that we've had these ideas for in our back pocket here for a little while, and we're just kind of waiting for the right opportunity to make these edits and make these sort of improvements to the game. So there's a lot of stuff that we're excited about. In addition to the game, there's add-ons. So there's the base game, the Director's Cut, and then there's some add-ons that we're offering with the campaign. Also, one of those add-ons is something that people have been asking us about literally since the first Kickstarter. So that's the minis, and I think we're all really excited about that, and we're really looking forward to like the fan response to that too. And just like, you know, releasing the characters and getting those out. So I think that's one thing that's super exciting about it, but obviously we're pretty stoked across the board.
Yeah, with the Director's Cut, I think with the new edition of just the Director's Cut, the game, I think one of the things the team's been pretty excited about is that the game is now going to have the supplies in it. And in no way does that like negate any of the supplies that you can now get in expansions, because what we've done with this is there's a lot of unique and special cards in the supplies deck that kind of cause chaos and things of that nature. Sure. And there's a lot of special weapons in this one where weapons generally just give action points and things of that nature, or assist with health, or assist with, you know, things like that. Some of them in this, it'll be like, it's beneficial to have it with you to help you get into locations. It's beneficial to have it with you for taking on bigger enemies. But at the same time, those same weapons that are helping you may hurt you in other ways, like make you move slower and things of that. So I think we're kind of excited to see, it's kind of taking away some of the chance from the original game and kind of making it more strategic now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
Will the play decks from first edition and second be able to be combined without causing chaos between old and new rules? This is from Ryan, and I guess he means by the bonus tracks and the killer scenes. So what I would say is, if you want to throw your old killer scenes deck in with the new one, you can. The one thing I'll note is that we're still using the original 40 cards, but the stats on all those are being updated.
They're going to be tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, so all the stats concerning action points, souvenirs, and also the addition of noise is being added to a lot of those cards. And then we have 10 additional new cards that are being added to the deck.
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is yes, you could do that.
Yeah, you could keep them and use them.
The core structure of the game isn't necessarily changing. The main mechanics are pretty still intact too. So
there's just some new mechanics.
You could do it, but you would end up with some duplicate cards, obviously, and then you would have some of the cards, you know, that are the same. The version of that card in Director's Cut is going to have some different stats and different hit points on there. So it's certainly something you could do, but it might be a little bit wonky at some points.
Yeah. And let's see.
Yeah, I mean, the main gist too is that like we've tried to make improvements. Like the killer scene specifically will be adjusted because we're adding weapons, so it sort of has like a trickle effect where these subtle changes kind of go throughout the game. Different touch points throughout the game.
This question is the Hallows Eve expansion just the same as the Scare Pack? Short answer, no. The Scare Booster Pack was basically an addition of a character with a couple new killer scenes. The Hallows Eve expansion pack, kind of like what we've done with a lot of the characters as the game progresses, is that like the legend in them evolve and their characters change as you get into Escape from Tall Oaks and stuff like that.
Right.
That's kind of the same here with the Scare, only the cool part is that this is an expansion for Mixtape Massacre, and it makes the Scare the main adversary. So rather than playing as the Scare, this is actually, you can kind of equate him to almost like Death, or Sheriff Burton, or a hero or something of that nature, where this becomes your main adversary. This becomes the main hazard during the game. And it's coming packed with a bunch of other things. There's going to be new supplies in it, like the masks, which are going to be really, really cool additions. Because it's Halloween, we wanted to have something that has a really cool theme. I mean, this is an expansion that we've wanted to do for a while, because obviously the game is a horror game and Halloween is a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So having
The scare booster was kind of just like us diving into that. We kind
like
of
a
knew
tease.
we had more ideas to wrap around Halloween, and also just more story to tell with that character. Like Freddie was saying, like a lot of the characters, we really go full on to try to create like a backstory and a story element that drives through the game and through the narrative. So for us, it's like it's not just about like putting out a new character. It's also about like telling the story and evolving the story. So the scare boosters sort of like the first part of the scare, and then this Hallows Eve expansion is kind of like his evolution into like the next phase of his story and how he enters the town. So yeah, there's some really cool stuff in that. And just to kind of like backtrack a little bit on that, so the Hallows Eve expansion in itself is an add-on that's going to be available in the Kickstarter. So that's it's an add-on sold separately. But the other cool thing, and then I'm not sure if anybody's asked this, but the other cool thing is that if you don't pick up the Director's Cut and you just want to get the Hallows Eve expansion, it will work perfectly fine with the first edition game as well. So you're not going to be everything that we create, we want to make sure that it's adding value and working together, whether it's with Escape from Tall Oaks or Mixtape Massacre. So there's no fear to worry that like any of these new products are not going to go backwards retroactively and work with the first edition. Everything's still going to work fine if you do not end up upgrading. We still think it's worth upgrading, but we can totally understand if people just want to grab the an expansion at first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the same goes for the minis, obviously, is that if you're looking at this campaign to just grab the minis and the expansion, you're more than welcome to do that. But obviously, the reason we did this second edition is there's a lot of upgrades we wanted to bring to this. We didn't want to, there's a few people who have asked about, will just upgrades be available?
Like upgrade kit.
Like an upgrade kit.
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is that what we're doing with our game versus like sometimes some games, they'll just be like, okay, we're updating this or we're updating that. We've basically gone through the game and about 60 to 70% of the game has been updated, be it that we redid all the stats on the killer scenes, be it that there's new bonus tracks and old bonus tracks redone, be it that, Matt, you've done updated character art to 2 of the characters. The profile cards have been completely redone. We've added new abilities and balanced abilities. So it wasn't just something where like, when we went and talked with our manufacturer about doing an upgrade kit, what we were looking at was basically like something where the change in price wasn't there to be like, well, it's just beneficial to just buy the new edition.
Right, and we wanted to make sure that we wouldn't have somebody who's buying an upgrade kit that's 2/3 of the price of the game itself. It just wouldn't make sense at that point. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of the gist of that. We an upgrade kit in this scenario didn't make sense for us to do because the changes were just consistent throughout.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up with the questions, but there's so much.
Let's dive into some of the ones that people are leaving in the comments.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I feel like I recall seeing a new die symbol. Is there additional dice? Well, the search dice is now included in the game, which is also in expansions, and then there's now going to be 2 movement dice.
Right.
It's no longer
if you've
rolling.
Played Escape, then it's a similar thing. So slashers are going to move a little faster throughout this game. We know that sometimes in the past, it's been a little slow to move around, and so that's something we wanted to tackle.
And it also changes the dynamic of the killing spree, if you're familiar with the game. What's the difference between the regular profile cards and the upgraded profile cards? The difference, there's 2 things. One, the layout has been completely changed, and now abilities are located on the card.
Yes.
2,
abilities are on the card.
2,
repeat. So, in the past we've had to put some cheat sheet things in there, and we had to do some other stuff. So that's a big change that now each player's special ability is right on their profile card.
And the other change is that because of the update to the game, because of the update to certain mechanics and rules, because of the addition of a lot of things like weapons and such, we've actually gone through the game and upgraded abilities across the board.
Right.
So a lot of characters, if some of them, their ability might be stronger, Some of them, their ability might be completely different than what it was in the original game. This was just a case of us going through and trying to balance the characters and make them more on the same playing field.
Yeah, I mean, we had just gotten feedback that some characters' abilities weren't as good, and some were too strong or whatever. So yeah, so we've just kind of calibrated those a little bit more to be, evenly matched. And then obviously with weapons and other things now part of the game, we wanted to make sure that the special abilities still made sense.
Question is, will every slasher eventually have a mini? I guess you would mean like in terms of like boosters and expansions and things. That would be the plan. For this campaign, our focus is on the original game and the original slashers.
Right.
But if this is kind of us testing the waters because it's been requested for so long to have minis. So what we're planning on doing is, if this campaign gets blown out of the water and like people are like crazy about it and they love, and we see that with the minis, then we are obviously immediately going to move on to starting work on further minis, and not just for slashers and expansions, but also for Efto itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're excited. We think the minis look really good. They fit like the style and the vibe of the game. So we're hoping they do well, and we're hoping that people are just as excited about them as we are. We would love to continue to make all the characters. But we're gonna batch them out. So we're gonna start with this first wave of the classic slashers, and then hopefully they'll do well, and we can continue to make more.
This one's from Andrew. Concerning the red health pegs, which I've mentioned concern before, is it what? Ooh, just dropped. Is it possible to manufacture with a raised heart shape? It would be cool and highly functional. My fat fingers struggle at adding and removing. Well, I will tell you this. I'm actually holding what is, this is a mold of, go ahead. That's a mold of the current knife. What's really cool about that.
The new knife. Actually,
yeah, of the new knife.
Not the current.
And what it is, so there's a couple things with this. One, the pegs fit nicely in it. They come nicely out of it. Two, the profile.
It's plastic also.
Yeah, it's plastic.
Yeah.
Two, the actual card holding area actually has holders in it, so when you slide it in, it's going to keep the cards nice and.
Yeah, there's like little grooves in here that kind of keep the card nice and snug. So.
But one of the things we're really excited about with this knife is that actually the knife has a bevel on the blade portion, so it actually looks like a real knife. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool, and obviously, the knives is one of the coolest parts of the game and one of the things that makes it super unique. But if you use it a lot, it can have some wear and tear. So this was a premium upgrade that we wanted to make sure we included in the game. So the plastic knives are going to hold up. They should hold up really well, obviously, compared to the punch-out knives. And yeah, we're going to make sure, obviously, that the health pegs fit in there real nice. They're small, so.
Yep.
If you got fat fingers, sorry about that.
It's kind of hard.
But they're small, they're small pieces.
The other nice thing is that these knives will be screen printed. So you'll see all the cool blood textures and wood and everything on
this
it.
is just a prototype, so this one doesn't have any graphics. But these guys will be full print, so they'll be screen printed with some super nice blood and gore on there. So we're really excited about those.
This one's from Nick C. Do the profiled card upgrades come with any of the backer levels? So of the add-ons, that's the only add-on that's not included any of the backer levels. That was just something we're throwing in because we knew some people would be requesting those. What those are, so I can clarify, because it feels like some people didn't read what it said, but what it says on there is that those are profile card upgrades for the booster packs and the expansions, because we knew those wouldn't be included, and we know that a lot of people have already bought those. So we wanted to give people a nice, very affordable way to upgrade all those cards immediately. And what those will cover is they'll cover the Bad Dad, the Scare, the Slayer, the Scarlet, both Black Mask and Lockdown and Invasion. You won't have to worry about Myth.
Right.
That was actually the first card we ever did with the new layout.
The Myth expansion has the new cards in it. We kind of just went and jumped the gun on that one because we knew that this was going to be coming out. So it's, if if you snag the Revenge Pack, it's kind of like that, where it just fills in the gaps with the missing cards. So
yeah, so you can upgrade all your sets right away, so they're all on the same level. Question down here concerning, do you foresee an Efto Directors Cut in the future? No. That
game's perfect.
Yeah, that game's practically perfect for us at least. That game kind of had the advantage of being the second child, where we kind of learned all of our lessons with the first one, and so that one we felt came out pretty crafted well. We'll definitely have some new releases,
new content for it. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think we'll be doing a director's cut for that. It just felt right with this being 5 years. This was literally our first baby that we ever did in terms of like a professional like release. So this is just something we've been waiting a little while to do and wanting to upgrade. So
yeah, but I mean, just to add on, we're also always welcome for feedback. So if there's something that you'd like to see, let us know. I mean, that's kind of how we got here, is that with the director's cut, there was obviously things that we wanted to see, but a lot of the stuff that we're implementing into this version of the game is feedback from fans and from people that love the game just as much as we do. So, you know, we're always excited to hear what people think, and if they have tips or suggestions, we literally read every email we get, so shoot it our way.
Lots of questions coming in, so I'm gonna try to answer some of these quick. The slasher cards for Efto, will those be included in the expansion cards? Those aren't slasher cards. I mean, they're the ones for Efto. Those are 100% up to date. What we're updating is the cards you use when you play Mixtape Massacre. So any slasher that came with a card for use with Mixtape Massacre, that's what's being updated. Are the Bad Dad and Revenge Packs going to be back in stock soon so we can add them to the game? Been waiting for those to restock and excited to get them. They'll probably be later this year. Unfortunately, with COVID and manufacturing, things like that are moving very, very slow. You can imagine with our restock occurring this January, how slow it was in getting things last year.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of requests to get those guys back in, so we'll keep everybody updated on that. Hopefully, we can have an update on the timeline for those soon.
Will the Producers Pack come with the profile card upgrades? The preview came out today and didn't seem to call out those. No, those cards are the only thing in the campaign that is actually not in a. It's the only thing not in a pledge level.
The only add-on.
Yeah, it's the only add-on that's on the pledge level. And that's just because it's just something.
It's not applicable to everybody.
Yeah, it's not applicable to everybody.
It's only applicable if you have both Escape from Tall Oaks and Mixtape Massacre. So we felt that it made more sense to not drive the cost up of a pledge level for everybody. If you want that and you have both games, the value's there. So just add it into your cart. The other thing to note is that we could say something about the Kickstarter add-on, how that's going to work.
Oh yeah, it's going to be way easier.
There's a new feature that Kickstarter has been rolling out with add-ons in particular. Our previous Kickstarters, like we would always say like, we'll add a certain X amount of dollars to your pledge, and then people would have to allocate where that money's going to go after in backer kit. So it was a little bit confusing. This is going to be super clean. You'll literally go to add-on. It will give you a choice of which products to add on and have the price there and stuff. So it's going to be way easier for
no more math on your end, no more adding money. Just
or forgetting like what you got, and then so it should be a super clean system. We're really excited about that, and I think a lot of Kickstarter campaigns have been really pumped on that change because it just makes things a lot smoother.
Prince Landon, big fan of Prom Queen. He's always asked me about Prom Queen. I heard my main Prom Queen got changed. Any hint or sneak peek on that?
Oh, snap.
You'll see her look. She's been upgraded visually. We did the mini based on the new art, and then the her ability is being updated. So just about everything with her.
Yeah, and the visual change is just a little tweak. We had done her sort of like second version of that character for Escape from Tall Oaks. So we kind of took a little bit of those challenges and went back and revised a little bit. But yeah, same core character still there.
Someone is asking about the what is in the Producers Pack. It should have been in the email when we sent it out, but I will bring it up and lay it out for you what's in there. Sorry. Producers pack contains, and I'll break it down for you exactly what all the stuff is.
Well, yeah, I mean, off the bat, the producers pack is Directors Cut, the expansion, Hallows Eve expansion, and the minis. So
you're getting all the core stuff.
Those are the core main big ticket items that are available in the campaign.
So
but then there's some perks that come with it too.
Yeah. So here's everything that's in it. You get the Directors Cut base game. You get the Mixtape Massacre minis, the Hallows Eve expansion, Producers Pack box, an enamel pin exclusive to the thing, a die cut sticker. You get the Kickstarter exclusive killer scene, and then you also get your name in the rule book, i.e. as a producer. The coolest part about that is that, I mean, one, it's if you got our Toads pack for the Invasion expansion, you know that we put together a really cool box and everything in kind of a collector's set. That's going to be the same thing here, only you're also going to just get everything that's in the campaign. The only thing not included in this, as we just stated, was the upgraded profile cards for all the additional expansions and booster packs.
Right.
It's $8. It's more bang for your buck if you already own all that stuff, and it'll save you having to rebuy all that stuff.
But did you mention the producers pack? The retail value of the producers pack is like $20 more than what we're offering the pledge level. So not only are you getting like a badass package of stuff that is going to be Kickstarter, a lot of it's going to be Kickstarter exclusive. You're also saving $20 what the retail value would be. So
well, and we try to do that with all the
for sure.
levels.
I mean,
yeah,
the
all the
higher,
pledge levels. The higher you go, the more you save.
Yeah, but that one in particular is, it's just like with the Toads pack. If you didn't see that, you can go on our page and see some pictures. But it's like we put together this really cool custom box. We want to just make it feel really cool when you get it. Feel like it's kind of a collector's item and something that's kind of exclusive. So we put some effort and some thinking into it. It's not like we're just trying to throw
make
stuff
a little
in
extra
there.
buck.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's fun. We want to kind of carry it all the way through.
And something to point out about this, I mean, again, basically Producers Pack is Die Hard. If you plan on buying everything, I would highly suggest buying that because you're going to get everything for a lower price. The other thing I would note though is that all of this pricing we're trying to be a little cooler this time about like our hardcore fans who are backing the Kickstarter and things like that. This is all going to be Kickstarter pricing. When it's post Kickstarter and everything, you won't be able to upgrade to these levels. You won't be able to, save these kinds of things. We're trying to make it that like if you show up for the Kickstarter, then you're going to get rewarded, kind of thing. And it's the same with the stretch goals. We have some awesome stretch goals planned that are, I think 3 of the 6 are Kickstarter exclusive. Right. So if you back the campaign, you're going to get certain things that other people will not be able to get after the campaign.
Yeah,
so.
And a bunch of the stretch goals are
pretty awesome.
Pretty cool items that just get added into the box for no extra charge. So yeah, we're excited to roll all of those out.
And that's something we should note is all stretch goals this time are going to be things that are just added to your box or added to your pledge. You're not going to have to pay an additional fee. And everything that's been revealed in terms of extras, in terms of the expansion, in terms of the minis, etc., these are all of them. We just wanted to come out the gate and let you know everything so when you come to the campaign, you know what you want to get. And you don't feel like you have to keep changing your pledge and changing your pledge and changing your pledge.
Let's see if there's any more questions.
Let's see. Is there a level above the producer pack? No. That's can you make the chainsaws and axes an upgrade? I keep missing them when they drop. We're gonna have those back probably after the campaign, right?
Yeah, the plastic is hard to get right now, so we're just waiting to get that back in stock, and then we'll be able to do another run. And just some context around those are like a fun thing that we kind of just do here in our shop. They're super limited, so every time they go up, they sell out really fast, and people ask us to make more, and we've been trying to make as many as we can, but those are just sort of a fun side thing. So we definitely will have more. We're just waiting on material right now to make some more of those.
There's a question about the town layout. Is there any change to it? For the most part, we're keeping it as is. There'll be a few detail changes and a few spaces removed of certain things. This is again because of upgrades and mechanics and things of that nature. But you have to remember, we have to kind of keep it in the certain layout that it's in because we still want this working with Efto.
Well, and expansions. I mean, we just also had the first expansion where we put new locations in.
And things in.
So the town will continue to expand, but we want to kind of keep the core town intact. Maybe, one thing you could talk about a little bit is the locked doors mechanic, which is kind of cool. That affects the town a little bit.
So one of the cool things that we're adding into the game, there's 2 new tokens being added into the game. That's one of the upgrades. One of the tokens is just called a runner token. And what this is going to do is when you, basically when you finish a killer scene, it could be that when you flip over your token, that you actually lose the kill. And this is kind of like in horror movies where the killer thinks they've killed the person, and then as they turn their back, boom, poof, they're gone. So we're trying to bring in more elements like that. The other big one that's going to be a cool change for the layout is that we're bringing in what's called locked doors or locked tokens. And basically what these do is they go on the entrances to the locations. You will either have to break into these locations to get in or get certain weapons or certain supplies to get into locations. But the cool thing is that much like in the movies and stuff where like if the town is being, if there's a killer on the loose, most people are locking their doors and things of that nature. So we wanted to add that extra cool layer and element to make it harder to get to the kills.
Yeah, for sure.
New comments. Is this project Canada friendly? It's not. I mean, it's available to Canadians as it was last time. But if you mean like no taxes and customs, Matt had explained at the earlier part of the Q&A, we're not at a level with our company where we can just do no customs, no taxes. We can't cover those things, unfortunately. This may be a premature question, but part of me, I'm just extremely excited. When are you hoping to get the game into backers' hands? The goal is between December and January. That's
yeah, and we're pretty. I mean, we've done enough manufacturing to this point that we are pretty confident that that's we can, unless another pandemic happens.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, even through this last year, we still hit our targets for the most part on things. We were
I think we were 1 month late on Invasion, and that was also due to COVID.
Right.
COVID just backed us up by a month.
Yeah, because the factory was slammed. But for the most part, we should be pretty on point. I mean, even with this campaign, we're going into it feeling confident and having a lot of the pre-production work done. So we'll be able to finalize our art files, get them to our printer, work with the manufacturer, and so we.
I think the only thing that'll be post-campaign that we'll be finalizing will probably be just the rule book.
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff. I mean, for sure, and we'll see with stretch goals and things. There's always a couple variables, but within it would this game we feel confident would come out early, either end of this year, early next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And be in backers' hands.
I know I missed some people because every time people comment, questions are going down.
Yeah, I mean, people, if we missed anybody, they can bump their comment or type it again.
Type your question again if I missed your question, guys. Let me go back to the sheet because we had some submitted questions. I've heard enough, take my money. But one last question. One last question. Any upcoming teases for Float? Not at the moment. We're trying to get through this campaign. I know some people were sent some questions to us for the live Q&A saying we hadn't heard anything on Float and things like that. It's not that nothing's happening with Float or that it's not moving. It's just unfortunately the thing we ran into with Float was that when the pandemic hit, or as the pandemic hit and we were working on it, we were seeing that movement on it was moving slower because of the testing on the game. It's a lot harder to test that game with playing over Zoom and stuff like that. It's something where where with Mixtape and stuff, we were able to do a lot of our testing in together, and it's just one of those things that's kind of slowed it down. But it's still something we have coming. We're hoping to start showing more later this year.
Yeah, once we get through this campaign, which our team's been focusing on, and then as most of you guys know, our team is pretty small too. So that's the way we like it. We like to keep it a small shop, and we like to really have creative control over everything. So we're working on it, and we want it to be awesome, and it will be. So as soon as we get through this Kickstarter, we're feeling really good that we can focus 100% back on Float and pick it up and get some things out, because we know that a lot of people are eager to see where that's at. And we're excited to show.
The only thing I can tease from it is I hope you like sea creatures. That's it. Any plans on making a playthrough video before or near the beginning of the campaign? Again, kind of that whole thing with the Zoom thing.
So we have a video.
We have a playthrough video of the original game.
No, but as far as a playthrough, we won't, I mean, as far as the core mechanics of the game, like, we won't have a playthrough video for this, this specific Director's Cut version. We do have a video that's going to be dropping soon that's sort of like an overview of the new features. So, theoretically, you could kind of watch our original Mixtape Massacre playthrough and then check out some of the new features to kind of put 2 and 2 together. Without the game in hand right now, we wouldn't be able to put together the level of playthrough that we would want to.
Level quality, yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at with it. It's not that far removed that watching the original Mixtape Massacre playthrough isn't gonna give you the gist of it. But that being said, check out this video we're gonna have coming in the next few days. It's gonna be kind of a deeper dive into us talking through, Freddie and MJ talk through like the specific new things that are included in Director's Cut.
Just kind of the same question. Since there are no new profile booster packs available as add-ons, are all the original booster pack sets included? Since there are no new profile cards for the booster packs available as add-ons. Oh, so yeah, there was some confusion on this. So I'm going to clarify one more time. The profile card add-on, the one for $8, includes cards for all the booster packs and all the expansions for Mixtape Massacre. So if any of those have slasher profile cards, those are included.
Correct. If you purchase that and you have both games, you'd be completely 100% up to date. And then obviously any new material, even Myth, like we said before, is going to have this updated profile cards coming out. So you're caught up, you're good, and then anything that you purchase in the future would have the new version.
Question. Would you say this is like Zack Snyder's director cut of Justice League? No, because we weren't given $70 million to finish it. Whereas
that would have been sweet.
That would have been amazing. Whereas it has a lot of new content in your original ideas, or is this just more content? It is definitely, it definitely is more to our original idea. Like, there was definitely stuff when we were first making the game we stayed away from because we didn't want the game to be too hard or have too many rules out of the box. Like, we were trying to keep it safe.
I think it's more sort of reactionary towards the game being out in the last 5 years.
Absolutely.
And then like we said before, combining like what some of the things that we in retrospect would like to see and fix, and then also some of the things that that just people have asked for, and the user feedback. So what lessons have you applied since the original Mixtape Massacre release? Obviously, the movement dice for faster moving. Going back to Star, just like some things that, chance and some of the elements that people, expressed that got frustrated with. Yeah, one of the new mechanics called Running Scared is a mechanic we put into the game because we like probably the biggest complaint. I wouldn't say complaint because a lot of people tend to love the game, but is that players return to their starting locations a lot. We've gotten rid of a lot of that. I'd say we've probably cut that down by 60%. And the way we did this is that when you screw up on a kill, we've made it more like movies, where instead of you are just going back to a location and coming forward, the person you're trying to kill is actually going to run from the location to one of the nearest locations. And all those tokens are going to start stacking up and become like a cash cow. So when you go into those next locations, you're going to be able to try for all those tokens and things of that nature. So that's one of the things that from the original game that we kind of worked on. Yeah. Is the Hallows? Oh nope, already answered that one. Yeah, I think that's everything. Let's see, is there anybody else that we missed in the comments? Here we go. Make sure we got everybody's questions. Yeah, let me see, check real quick.
what's gonna be in the new expansion? We kind of I mean,
No,
I didn't
we
fully
can
break
go
it
into
down.
a little
Yeah.
depth with
So
that.
that Hallows Eve expansion. Basically, the idea is it's Halloween. The scare kind of comes to town and is kind of feeding off of the innocence and the evil of the town. So obviously, the evil is coming after you guys.
The slashers.
Yeah, the slashers. And the cool thing that we're doing with this is that the scare itself is a very big piece this time because he's kind of like growing. He's
growing.
Yeah,
he's evolving.
It's this idea of like, he's kind of plant-based and like part of the soil and stuff. So like he's kind of growing. The more he feeds on people, the bigger he's getting kind of thing. But there's also these vines that are coming off of him. And those are actually going to be moving throughout the locations and screwing with you. And like, as there's going to become more and more vines on the board that are going to be attacking you. There's also going to be the masks, which are like, these are things we're really excited about because they're going to add abilities to the people who are wearing them, but it's also going to make them targets for these ghosts that are kind of attached to the masks. So we're bringing in like basically a lot of stuff from Halloween, like trick-or-treaters are going to be in the game, ghosts are going to be in the game, the pumpkin
Yeah, a lot
patch
of fun story-driven stuff that we just feel like, we open the Halloween can of worms. So yeah, we're really excited about it, and again, it's just going to add more like layers to the gameplay too. We want to make sure that every time we put out an expansion or any sort of new content that we're kind of like adding on more value and expanding the town, like literally.
Well, and also telling new stories
too.
Yeah, telling new stories, because basically every expansion is supposed to be like a different story and a different event taking place.
Yeah, it's like a new chapter. So,
where can I get the mascot's killer's mask?
What, the legend mask?
The legend mask.
So the legend mask is like sort of a combo. I mean, we hacked it, so we kind of created it ourselves.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of masks out there. A collectible mask at some point would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
But yeah,
we might do that.
Yeah.
Did Thorn get a new ability? Yeah. So that was literally one of the characters we first immediately addressed.
Thorn, people have kind of complained about his ability for a while, so we had to upgrade our homie Thorn.
So Thorn is the other character that's both visually updated. Matt did a lot of new art on that character, and he also is the character that got a big update to their ability. So I think people will be really, really excited about playing as Thorn now, which will be cool because bald guys need love. Anything else? I think that's everyone. That's pretty good.
Sweet.
I would say this in closing though. March 16th, 10 a.m. So literally a week from today at 10 a.m. Tuesday, the campaign's going live. We would love if you guys all are showing up as fast as you can, joining in, showing support, spreading the word.
That's the biggest thing is just like, we're trying to get the word out about it. Spreading the word and letting people know that it's happening is always the hardest part. We feel like we've put in some cool stuff we're really excited about. Obviously the Director's Cut and then the add-ons that have been in the works for a long time. Also, if you do back within the first 24 hours, you get the Kickstarter exclusive card, with a basic pledge level of Director's Cut. That card's included with the higher tier pledge levels, but if you just do the Director's Cut in the first 24 hours, you get that Kickstarter exclusive card, which is Freddie, MJ, and me. You get a chance to actually kill the creators in the game, so that's a cool, fun twist on a killer scene card.
And it's an awesome reference to an 80s film most people love.
Yeah,
see if you can figure it out.
Yeah, see if you can spot the reference. That's it, man. If you haven't checked out the Kickstarter video, we dropped that a couple of days ago. Be sure to check that out. We collaborated with our buddies Oddest of the Odd. If you don't know those guys, definitely check them out. They make hilarious, fucking awesome videos. And we were super excited to bring them in for this. So definitely check that Kickstarter video out if you haven't seen it yet. It's going to give you a good laugh for sure.
All right, couple more questions. Harley, will there be a list for the expansions boosters that will be available for international backers? Yeah, go to our website. Everything that's on there will be available to you.
Anything on the site right now you can purchase at the time of the Kickstarter.
And anything on the Kickstarter will be available to you. Which slashers would you say had the biggest buff and biggest nerf? Ravenous is very, very changed. It's a better ability. Prom Queens was definitely changed up and more powerful now. I don't want to tell anyone what they are though. Thorns has definitely been, like, Thorn was the first one we addressed and raised his up, so his is way better. The one that's going to stay the same is anyone who loves playing as Stitches, same ability. Actually, Legend and Stitches are the two whose abilities are identical to what they were. Because people love those ones, and I feel like Legend's a good starter character, so that's like a good ability for them, and I feel like Stitches, he's a big boy, so he's gonna come back. And then Ravenous was one that we really changed up. So I'd say about those four are the ones that really got changed. Everyone else, it was just kind of like a balancing of the two. I love the Kill Creators card. I think it's an amazing addition, but I feel bad killing you guys off, so I think I have the players have to protect you guys from the slashers.
It's okay.
It's okay. Take us out.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think
Collect those kills.
Yeah, that's everything.
But watch out, MJ is pretty good at escaping, so.
She's a ninja.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you for joining us. Again, next Tuesday, March 16th, 10 a.m., show up. And just start spreading the word. If you guys see us posting anything, please share it with your friends.
Yeah. One last thing is we are going to be doing a contest this later this week. We might drop it tomorrow. We'll see. But it's going to be super simple. We're just going to be asking people to follow us on Twitter and share the video, the Kickstarter video that we just talked about with Odyssey the Odd. And then you'll be entered into the contest to win a producer's pack pledge level, so you could just straight up win it
and not have to back the campaign
at all. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But otherwise, yeah, thanks so much for hanging with us, and can't wait to see you guys next Tuesday for the Director's Cut.
And that is it.